Hello, today we're going to talk about what to do about tight hips. So a lot of people do figure four till they're blue in the face, or they do the recline twist, and yet they're always feeling that tension in their hips. And usually that's because there's actually a weakness, and that's causing certain muscles to do work that they're not meant to do. So oftentimes the tightness in the hips is because there's a weakness in the glute medius, I'm going to call it the glute med, which are at the side of the pelvis here. So when those muscles are not doing their job, the piriformis and the IT band and the tensor fasciae lata, those guys end up taking over to do work that they're not meant to do. So they start to become chronically tight, and so you can keep stretching until the cows come home, but you're never going to get that sense of release that you're looking for. So you really need to focus on strengthening those glute medius muscles. So I'm going to give you two exercises. So the first one, you just need a stool or a book to stand on, just so that one foot is higher than the other. You're going to be quite close to the wall. One foot is dangling off the stool and one is standing on. If it's available to you in the shoulder, you can just have the arm overhead. It's just to get the shoulder out of the way because our shoulders are wider than our hips. If you've got any shoulder issues, you can just have the arm in front of you. I'm going to get a little bit closer. So start with the free leg dropped lower than your standing leg. So your pelvis is going to feel uneven for a moment. Your first step is you're going to use the muscles on the outside of the standing leg to bring the two hips and 2 feet to equal height. So already you're going to feel some engagement at the outside of the hip here. With your inside leg, you're going to press the outside of the foot from pinky toe to heel, and it's up to you how much pressure you put into the wall. You're going to hold that contraction for 3 to 5 seconds, and you're gently going to let it go, but keep the pelvis at the same height. So go ahead for 3 to 5 of those at your own rhythm. Press into the wall and hold. So although we're moving the inside leg, you're going to feel it mostly on the outside hip. Hold it for 3 to 5 seconds each time. And your goal is that however hard you're pushing into the wall, you're matching that effort with the muscle, the glute med, on the outside of the standing hip, so that your pelvis does not shift away from the wall. It can feel pretty intense, especially if it's an area that's weak on you, so 3 to 5 is plenty. One more. And then come on down. You're going to feel a deep ache on that side, and we do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to be standing on the stool. Hips are uneven to start. You're first going to engage the outside of the hip to get the 2 legs equal, and then press the leg against the wall. Match that effort with the outside glute medius. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds, and gently let it go. You're going to repeat that 3 to 5 times. You want to match the effort of the inside leg with the support from the outside glute medius. You know you're doing it well if there's 0 movement from your pelvis. It's like you're trying to create a wall of support from that outside hip. I'm going to do one more. And it's very common that you'll feel one side kicks in fairly easily and the other side is super hard. That's normal. We're right and left-handed, we're right and left-footed, so one side tends to be easier than the other. The second one I'm going to show you is the chair. I just want to make sure you can see the feet here. So feet standing hip distance apart. You're going to do a baby squat or a baby chair. And watch my knees for a second. I'm going to do the cheating way. So for a lot of us, this will happen. The knees fall inwards, and either they stay inwards the whole time, or they do a little bit of this in and out as we go down and up. That is an indication of weakness in your abductors, the glute medius being one of the primary ones. So to fix that, as we go up and down out of our chair, imagine my arms or my legs. You want to imagine that your legs are a pair of scissors, and you're trying to scissor the floor open with both legs equally, and that action is from the feet all the way up the entire leg to the hip. So it's not the knees just coming out. That's a rotation of the hip. That's not what we're looking for. Instead, you can't see it because it's isometric, but I'm going to do this action with my legs, and although you can't see any movement, now all of a sudden I'm firing up those glute medius muscles just like we just did against the wall. So take a moment here in standing. Before you even start your chair, initiate that action from the feet and the entire leg right up to the hip so that you're firing up the glute medius. It should feel just like it did when you were doing that previous exercise against the wall. Keep that action as you come into just a baby chair for now. And if you're doing it in front of a mirror, now you should see that your knees point straight forward. You keep that same scissoring action as we come back up, and then you can let it go. Give those guys a break for a moment. Same thing again, we first fire up. So it's like your legs are scissors, you're scissoring them open against the resistance of the floor. Already you should feel quite a bit of work. Keep that and even exaggerate that action as you come down into your baby chair. Hold that for 3 to 5 seconds. Keep exaggerating that scissoring action open with the legs right from the feet all the way up to the hips. Hold it, hold it, hold it till you're all the way up tall, and then let it release. We'll go for 3 more. Scissor the legs open. Keep scissoring as you sink it down into your chair. Pause here, and how much effort you put is up to you. It's literally like you're trying to create a slit in the floor. Keep spreading the floor open as you come up tall. Keep holding on to that contraction, and then you release it at the top. Last 2. So if you're doing this on a yoga mat, you can picture trying to rip your yoga mat in 2 by the effort of the scissoring of the legs. Keep that scissoring action all the way till you're up tall. Get fully grounded in your mountain pose, and then you let them go. One last one. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds. Exaggerate that scissoring action to come back up, and only let it go once you're at the top. So if you've done these 2 exercises well, you're going to feel kind of bruisey deep in the side of the hips. That's going to be even more pronounced tomorrow, especially when you go up and down the stairs, and that's a great sign that you did it well. So try to do these exercises daily for at least 2 weeks, ideally more like 4 to 6 weeks, because that's how long it takes to reprogram things. And then notice, all of a sudden, do you feel a little more freedom in your hips without even having to do your figure 4? Let me know.